Once upon a time, long, long ago, so long that it was 66 million years before you were born, dinosaurs ruled the entire Earth. Can you imagine that? Giant creatures as tall as buildings walked around everywhere. They had been the kings and queens of our planet for 160 million years. That's such a long time that it's hard to even think about. But this is the story of their very last day, the day when everything changed forever. On that special morning, the Earth looked a little different than it does today. The continents, the big pieces of land like where we live, were still moving around. They were spreading apart, kind of like puzzle pieces, slowly sliding across a table. But even though things looked a bit different, there were already forests, oceans, and mountains just like we have now. The weather was actually quite nice. It was warmer than today, even at the North and South Poles. Flowers were blooming everywhere. In fact, this was when flowers first appeared on Earth. Beautiful trees grew in thick forests. Walnut trees, ash trees, and beech trees. Butterflies and bees flew from flower to flower just like they do in your garden. Birds sang in the trees, and everything seemed peaceful and happy. Now, let me tell you about some of the amazing dinosaurs who lived on that day. There was tiny Orodromius. This little dinosaur had a head no bigger than your thumb. Can you believe that? It was smaller than a hummingbird. On the other side, there was Alamosaurus, one of the biggest animals that ever lived. Imagine a dinosaur as tall as a 10-story building, with a tail as long as a school bus. These gentle giants ate only plants and needed to munch on a whole ton of leaves every single day. That's like eating a small car made of salad. In what we now call Mongolia and China, there lived a scary hunter called Tarbosaurus. This dinosaur was as long as a big truck and walked on 2 strong back legs. It had tiny arms, kind of funny looking really, but don't laugh. Those arms had sharp claws perfect for grabbing fish, and in its mouth, about 72 super sharp teeth. Each tooth was as long as your finger. Tarbosaurus was always hungry and always hunting. Over in North America, a dinosaur named Pachycephalosaurus was looking for breakfast near the ocean. This one had something really special, a bone dome on top of its head that was thicker than a big dictionary. It used this hard head to fight other dinosaurs, bonking them like a battering ram. Pachycephalosaurus loved to eat seeds, fruits, and leaves, but sometimes it would also snack on little lizards and shellfish. Another North American dinosaur was Ankylosaurus. Oh, what a sight she was. Picture a creature the size of an elephant, covered head to tail in bony armor like a knight suit. At the end of her tail was a huge, heavy club. But don't worry, she was actually very gentle and only ate plants. On this particular morning, a mother Ankylosaurus was taking her 4 baby dinosaurs into the forest to find some yummy leaves for lunch. The babies stayed close to their mama, knowing her big tail club would keep them safe. And then there was the most famous dinosaur of all, Tyrannosaurus Rex. This enormous predator was having quite an exciting morning. A smaller dinosaur called Carnotaurus had wandered into T-Rex's territory by mistake. Big mistake. Even though Carnotaurus could run super fast as a car on the highway, it wasn't fast enough. T-Rex was an amazing hunter with eyes like a hawk and a nose that could smell another dinosaur from far, far away. The two dinosaurs fought, but really, Carnotaurus didn't stand a chance. T-Rex was so much bigger and stronger, it weighed as much as 3 cars. With its powerful jaws, T-Rex won the fight and started eating its lunch. T-Rex needed to eat about 100 kilograms of meat every day. That's more than what 3 big lions would eat. While T-Rex was busy enjoying its meal, something very, very strange was happening up in space. A gigantic rock, bigger than the tallest mountain, was falling toward Earth. This wasn't just any rock. It was an asteroid from outer space, and it was heading straight for our planet. The herd of Alamosaurus dinosaurs we talked about earlier, they were walking around in an area we now call Mexico, munching on tree leaves. They had no idea what was about to happen. The Ankylosaurus family was deep in the forest, happily eating their lunch. Pachycephalosaurus was hunting for crabs and shellfish by the ocean. Tarbosaurus was stalking prey near a river. And T-Rex? Well, T-Rex was so busy eating that it didn't even look up at the sky. As the huge asteroid got closer and closer to Earth, it started moving faster and faster, as fast as lightning. It was traveling so fast that it started to glow and get super, super hot. The friction from rushing through the air made it shine brighter than the sun. Suddenly, T-Rex felt something strange. It looked up and saw the sky turning bright, so bright it hurt to look at. Even when the dinosaur closed its eyes, the light burned through its eyelids. The heat was so intense that it started to burn T-Rex's skin. Trees and grass around it burst into flames. Then, in just a second, the asteroid disappeared over the edge of the world. The asteroid crashed into the ocean near Mexico with the most enormous boom you could ever imagine. It hit with a force equal to 10 billion atomic bombs, all exploding at once. Can you even imagine that? The asteroid smashed 20 kilometers deep into the Earth. That's deeper than the deepest ocean. The whole planet shook like a giant bell being rung. The sound was so loud that it would have made your ears hurt from thousands of kilometers away. Shock waves, invisible walls of force, rushed out in every direction faster than the speed of sound. These waves were so powerful that they picked up even the biggest, heaviest dinosaurs and tossed them through the air like they were little toys. Poor T-Rex didn't know what hit it. The shock wave knocked it out immediately, then lifted its huge body up into the air. Our mighty hunter was gone. But the asteroid had already killed other dinosaurs even before the shock waves reached T-Rex. Remember that family of Ankylosaurus eating leaves in the forest? When the red-hot asteroid came screaming through the sky, it created fires everywhere. One of those fires swept through their forest so fast that the mother and her 4 babies had no time to escape. They were surrounded by flames in an instant. The Alamosaurus herd was even closer to where the asteroid hit. The heat was so unbelievably hot that it turned everything, even their huge bones, into ash. Pachycephalosaurus, hunting by the ocean, survived the initial impact. But then something else terrible happened. The asteroid created a tsunami, a giant wave that was 100 meters tall. That's as tall as a 30-story building. This massive wall of water rushed onto the land, traveling thousands of kilometers inland. It flooded almost everything. The wave picked up poor Pachycephalosaurus and carried it far out into the deep ocean. The asteroid knocked 15 trillion tons of rock out of the ground and threw it up into the sky. Some pieces flew all the way to outer space, but most of it, including boulders as big as houses, came crashing back down. And that's not all. There was also something scientists call glass rain. The heat was so intense that tiny droplets of melted rock rained down everywhere, burning everything they touched. Far away in Mongolia, our Tarbosaurus was still hunting, not knowing what had happened. But the disaster was racing toward it. The asteroid crash was so powerful that it triggered earthquakes all around the world. Earthquakes 50 times stronger than any earthquake humans have ever seen. The ground shook so hard that volcanoes everywhere woke up and started erupting. 70 billion tons of ash, soot, and rocks shot up into the sky from all these volcanoes. When all this stuff started falling back through the air, the friction made everything heat up again. A huge burning cloud of dust raced across the planet at incredible speed, burning everything in its path. When this fiery cloud reached Mongolia, the temperature shot up to 150 degrees, hot enough to boil water. Almost every living thing died, but Tarbosaurus was lucky. Along with a few other animals, it managed to hide deep in an underground cave. The hot cloud passed over them, and they survived. When Tarbosaurus finally came out of the cave, the world had changed completely. It was dark, so dark that even in the middle of the day, it looked like nighttime. All the dust and ash in the air blocked out the sun completely, and it was cold. So cold. The temperature had dropped by 28 degrees. This is what scientists call an impact winter. For weeks, acid rain poured from the sky, poisoning the soil and water. There were no plants growing anymore, no food. The world had become a cold, dark, scary place. Poor Tarbosaurus and the other survivors wandered around looking for food, but there was nothing to eat. One by one, they starved. Perhaps our Tarbosaurus was the very last dinosaur alive on Earth. It's a sad thought, isn't it? The dinosaurs were gone. After ruling the Earth for 160 million years, they disappeared in just one terrible day and the dark months that followed. But you know what? Life always finds a way. Hidden in underground burrows and up in trees, some small furry animals had survived. These were early mammals. The great had about 1 million more greats. Grandparents of animals like cats, dogs, horses, and even humans. These little mammals were small, ate very little food, and could have babies quickly. Slowly, over many years, the dust cleared from the sky. Sunlight came back. Plants started growing again, first ferns, then grass, then trees. The world became green and alive once more, and those little mammals, they thrived. They grew bigger and bigger. They became more and more different from each other. Some became elephants, some became whales, some became monkeys, and eventually, millions of years later, some became humans. That's you and me. So that's the story of the last day of the dinosaurs. It's both sad and amazing at the same time. The dinosaurs ruled for such a long time, but one giant rock from space ended it all in a single day. We humans have only been the rulers of Earth for a few million years. That's such a short time compared to the dinosaurs. Will we last as long as they did? That's a question only time can answer. But because of what happened to the dinosaurs, We're here today, and that's pretty special, don't you think?